And it's a great day for a pirate broadcast, don't you
What
think?
isn't a good day for a pirate broadcast?
And today is no different. We have Lila Smith in the room, and I thank you so much for being here, Lila. I know you've been busy and all kinds of adventures on the way to this point in the existence of being a pirate. So tell us what's happening in the world today. What is
Oh,
going
the
on?
world has rough seas right now. The world is walking the plank and diving over, and crocodiles are there with their jaws wide open and clocks ticking, and everybody is freaking out for good reason, right? I mean, the ones who are not freaking out are the ones putting everybody else at risk.
Well, absolutely. I know that there's a lot of circumstances here we can't control, though. And I think our reactions to those circumstances have to be measured.
Yes, responsible.
And probably a little bit, cautious at the same time.
Yeah. Well, don't you think that there's something kind of piratey about the word quarantine? Like, I've been quarantined.
I've been quarantined. Batten down the hatches. I'm being quarantined.
Yeah.
Being on a ship is kind of like being on a quarantined. I mean, you're isolated and you're out there in the sea and you're doing your thing. So
yeah,
I don't know what the right answer is. All I know is that we can limit our exposure.
Yes.
And we don't know what the journey ahead is going to take. So resiliency and the ability to adapt, I think, is the most valuable skill we can adopt.
You know who has adaptability in his top 5 strengths? Doug Thompson, who's also been a guest on Pirate Broadcast.
Yeah. Doug.
He has adaptability in his top 5 strengths. And it makes sense that he's been a leader of change and an advocate for technology and AI, because he can go with the flow. He can change. He can move second to second. He's so agile. And that kind of agile mind where we are able to say, here's what's going on right now. Guess I'll deal with this and have a smile on your face about it. That is priceless. Those are the people that I want on my team right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I woke up this morning and I was out in the kitchen making coffee, and I failed to realize that the coffee pot still had coffee in it. It's like, so I made a full pot of coffee on top of
that sounds like a mess.
So just before, and I was thinking about the same thing. It's like adaptability, flexibility. Okay, I can either get upset or I could just laugh at it and say, okay, Russ, Mr. Dumas, what are you doing?
See, this is where we need like a full staff of people, right? So that you can be like, I messed up, someone.
Prepare. And I think what I like is the kindness is cool.
Kindness is cool. Yeah.
So we can also adapt a little bit of kindness and a little empathy as well. So
yeah.
So what else is happening in Lila's world? I mean,
my goodness, where to start? I have a lot of inquiries for communication mapping for companies that are right now adjusting to having people working at home. And I was one of the original work from homers because I was an actress and I was on the road. I was on tour for years while also doing work on the side, anything that I could do to supplement my income. I was working remotely, doing things by phone. I would do anything, down to helping actors learn their lines over the phone. I had one of the first smartphones. I had a T-Mobile Sidekick. And I was, in addition to the games I was playing on it, I was taking emails and stuff. So I've been doing remote work for a long, long time. Now I work completely remotely. I used to manage teams that would report to me from all over the world so that I could work in a global talent pool for DNA footwear. And so now I'm helping companies to adjust and adapt to, okay, how should we be communicating with each other? If someone's not right there, what do we do? Do we just send 100 emails? And I'm like, no, don't do that. They're like, well, then what do I do? And I'm like, I'll tell you, but you'll pay first. So that's a lot of my focus right now, is just helping companies to prepare their communication plans for adapting in this time. Also leading virtual workshops, for intentional communication, which is my thing. And also co-writing a children's book with my best friend, Kristen Sherry, whom you also know, also a former guest on Pirate Broadcast.
Pirate.
Yes.
Pirate.
So it's a few things here and there.
Well, it's interesting because I don't think about it because I've been remote for so long. I've been doing remote work for so long that you don't think about it. I guess I hadn't really thought about it too deeply. However, I've had a couple of webinars recently, and I'm going to be doing a series of webinars on this subject.
To how
share
to work remotely effectively.
Well, how do you technology? Some technology can use to stay in contact, stay connected, and stay, open to opportunities in the changing environment we're living in, because it's really important for us to really. And I'm a fan of video. I don't know if anybody noticed that or not. I'm a fan. And it works. And it works. I mean, I've built a fairly decent revenue stream from using video and building relationships. To me, it's all about relationships. Social media is just the front door. The relationship is really where it happens.
So you and I met in person.
Yeah, we've met
in person, and we had been connected on LinkedIn, some before that, but we have been live in person together. And then because we have LinkedIn and because we have video, it's fun to keep seeing your face like you're a neighbor, even though you don't live by me.
Yeah.
And it might be a while before any of us can actually travel again. Yeah. So it's like I get to zip myself over to where you are.
And I jump on Zoom calls all the time. I use Zoom a lot. I use, obviously StreamYard and live streaming is a little different environment. Yeah. However, there are tools available that even 5 years ago were not very useful, not very productive for the average individual to work from home. And so things in technology have really adopted, and we have to be grateful for that opportunity to be able to have tools in place that allow us to work from home.
Yeah.
So I think that's important. So, hey, I want to give a shout out. Gabriel's joining us this morning, Made from Scratch.
Yeah.
Gabriel.
Good morning, Gabriel.
And Carol Campos. Hey,
Carol.
How are you?
Hi, Carol.
Thank you.
I love Carol Campos.
Yes. And Gabriel says, good morning, everyone. How wonderful to see two of my favorite people together. Love it. Lila Smith is always fun to watch and connect with. So
thank you.
There you go. And also, Angie's in the house. Good morning, everyone.
Angie.
And she's from Periscope. So all the way from Periscope.
Wow. Wow, Periscope.
Well, we're actually broadcasting to Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Periscope as well. So
we are internet world famous.
Yes, we are
covering all the virtual ground,
all over the interwebs. And I just want to give a shout out to everybody that's joining us here. Lila is a wonderful soul. If you're not connected to Lila, please do so, and just tell her that Russ sent you. Okay.
If you say that Russ sent you, I will delete connections if I have to, and I'll dump people who don't say anything to me ever, and I'll bring you in.
Well, you can always saythingsbetter.com and go there and attend one of our events or some of our activities. But
you can always follow me on LinkedIn. I can follow back. You can message. I'll message back from an in-mail if it says more than hi.
Yeah. Yeah. I just want to make sure that people know and understand that we are connected in this virtual world, and building relationships, even virtually, are important. We have met in person, and so some of the things that we talk about are, from a personal stage, but also, I've met so many people virtually that I've never met in person, and I have a wonderful relationship with them. So I'm sure you're the same way.
Yeah. Well, I've been thinking about this story, I mean, it's 20 years old now, and that's how old I am. But this is a friend of mine in high school. Jessica worked at El Greco Diner in Brooklyn as a hostess. I have tried 4 times over the last 2 days to try and get this story out on video without crying.
Mm-hmm.
And then I tried live with Kristen Sherry and I couldn't do it. So I'm gonna power through it today. I'm gonna summon my inner pirate and just share this story.
Please do.
Okay. Oh, okay. I can't. All right. I'm gonna do this. It's gonna happen. When I was in high school, my friend Jessica, who was a hostess at El Greco Diner in Brooklyn, was telling me about this one night that she was taking phone calls left and right, and it was super busy. And she got this call about getting a reservation for a table at the diner for the next day, which happened to be Thanksgiving. And this will tell you something about South Brooklyn. A lot of those, like all the tables were full weeks in advance for the diner Thanksgiving, where no one would have to do the cooking or the cleaning up and could just bring their family and leave with them. So they were full. And she had to say, "I'm so sorry, sir. We don't have a table available tomorrow." And he said, "Are you sure? It's just me. I can't. Oh my God." He said, "It's just me." And Jessica said, "Please come in. Come in. I'll find a seat for you. And if there's any time at all, maybe we can just talk about some things that we're thankful for." So such a mess. I'm so emotional. So
you're okay.
He came in. He went to El Greco Diner the next day on Thanksgiving, and Jessica found him a seat at the bar in front of, the muffins and a diner bar. And he had Thanksgiving dinner there. And she did talk to him a little bit about just some things that they were thankful for, and she was a kid, 16, 17 years old. And she really made this magical, special moment of connection with him. And I think about people like that who are alone, who feel uncared for or feel that they have no one, but still want to be out there and are so brave and would leave their house just to go to the grocery store, just to see other human beings. And that those people now are staying home. I'm so worried that people are lonely and feeling isolated. And I want to reach out and hug and care for all of them. And I don't have time for all of the people who are feeling that way. But if they could find each other and, find other lonely people, put yourself out there, please write a post and say, like, "Hey, I'm all alone too. And if anybody wants to talk, I've got a Calendly link you can follow and just get on a call with me." Think about the other people in the world who are feeling the way that many are, isolated and alone. Find those people and make them less alone. And in doing so, you'll build your own close connections as well.
Well, thanks for sharing that, Lila. And it really
got through it, didn't I? Yeah.
No. That's the thing about life and this journey we call, life is the idea that we're either going to do it alone or we're going to do it together. Yeah. And we're all connected regardless of where we choose to spend our time.
Yeah.
We are connected. The same sunshine lands on all of us. This air we breathe is the same. And I see it here in, this, where I live is a retirement community. There's lots of individuals that are isolated, that do live alone, that seldom see people. And it's really difficult at times to see people in need, and you don't know how to help them, or if they want help or they need help. And
right.
There's so many changes coming up in the world today that it's hard. It's going to be challenging, and anything we can do to create outreach programs, yes, I think it's going to be important. And
harder for those the retirement communities to create virtual communities online for the people that they serve, because often those are the people who are the least online. The adaptability curve because it's slow to catch when you've lived so long without being virtual. So they're gonna have one of the biggest challenges. I would invite them to join me and Anna McCaffrey on Live with Lila on Monday. We're doing this at I think it's 5 p.m. Central, and it's called Cootie Free Community Cultivation. We can talk about it, and we'll have members of the hospitality community and, you know, especially the club industry, any gyms, anybody who has a membership base that would normally be the source of their business for coming together in person. So we're going to talk to them about some different tech tools and approaches for what to share when you're online, and how to do that for people to give them that value of in-person connection remotely.
Yeah. We're going to see a lot of global changes, I know,
For sure.
as a result of this. And having been in tech for so long, for someone like myself, it's much more comfortable than someone that's not.
It's a language you speak. You speak pirate, you speak English, you speak tech. Like any other language.
And there's a lot of
very
people
fluent.
that are not willing or have not had exposure to the kind of technology that we're going to be adapting in the future to stay connected. So that's on Monday nights at 5 Central Time?
Just this one coming Monday night, which will be, if people are watching the replay, that'll be on the 23rd. So in my LinkedIn profile, people go to Lila Smith on LinkedIn, and if you see multiple Lila Smiths, just kill the other ones. I'm just kidding. You can find the one that says Say Things Better Creator, and that's me. And you can see in my About section on my profile, I have Up Next. So you can always see what's the next program that I have coming up, and the times should be listed in there for Cootie Free Community Cultivation.
That's fantastic. I love that. And I want to give a shout out to some of the other people in the community here that are on LinkedIn. Now, as you probably have guessed, LinkedIn doesn't allow me to share my comments, so I have to go on my phone and
you're forgiven. You can have your phone at the dinner table, the breakfast table.
I am distracted, but it's for the purpose of the
You're focused. It's just a different screen. I'll make eye contact with the camera. So
thank you so much. Will you pay attention to the audience here, Lila? So Vicki O'Neill, thank you so much for being here. You're always such a wonderful. Jeff Young, thank you so much.
Jeff Young is here. Young. I love Jeff Young.
Jeff is awesome.
He is legit.
Yes. Derek Monroe from Atlanta is in the room.
No way.
Yeah,
hi, everyone.
Absolutely. Way. So and Marcus from Chicago. Thank you so much for being here. Kenyatta Turner. You know Kenyatta.
Kenyatta. Oh, do I ever?
Yeah.
We had one of the best nights out together with Clifton S. Johnson when she was visiting Dallas last. And if she gets here again, I'm going to see her. So that makes me happy.
It's very happy. And Sherry Lawley, if you know Sherry Lawley.
Of course I know Sherry. Yeah.
And then Fred Costa's in the room as well. So
awesome.
And I just want to highlight the fact that, you know, the reason I started the Pirate Broadcast was long before this started. And I was always passionate about how people got to where they are and what they're doing. Because like you drive down the road, like an industrial district of any city, and you see these names on buildings and you think, I wonder what they do, you know? And LinkedIn to me was the same kind of thing. It's like, okay, I see what their profile says, but who are they? You know, what are they doing? Yeah. And so to dive in a little bit, you know, kind of be a little bit of a pirate and dive in and say, okay, well, what do you do? How did you get there?
Excavate buried treasure from my past.
Exactly. So what jewels can we pull from Lila today? And it's one of those things that, you know, you've been an actress and you know, I'm a musician. And so traveling and touring and things like that are very common. And this thread that we pull, there's always a common thread.
Right.
So now you're doing some different things and you're in Dallas. And so what's the big project that you're working on right now? Because I know your Say Things Better is primary.
I'm doing virtual communication workshops now, and all of the stuff that I do uses my experience in leadership in the corporate world, and leading e-commerce teams and branding and marketing, that I use all of my theater experience to inform how well I connect as I do those things. And so now I'm teaching people all over the world to better connect with their communication using the same tools that I used when I was in theater.
Exact tools.
The same exact tools, script analysis, being present, listening, being active, communicating, being ready to pivot, being spontaneous, and really doing the analysis work to determine who you are as you speak and who the other people are who you're speaking to, and how can you be of value, of service to the people that you're connecting with.
I think it's important, Lila, that I wanted to bring this up again and highlight the fact that you're doing Say Things Better, because all of us have what I would consider transferable skills.
Yes.
Skills
Absolutely.
that you've used in one industry or in a corporate environment that are still necessary and viable. And I think there's a lot of people threatened by their connection to what they are.
Oh, I used to be one of those people. I used to never talk about my theater experience. When I first came on LinkedIn and I was thinking, oh, maybe e-commerce recruiters will see my profile. Wouldn't that be the dream? And all due respect to e-commerce recruiters, I'm not interested any longer. Right now, I'm changing the way the entire world communicates, so I'm busy. But that was the goal, was, be in the community more of people who worked in my industry, see if I could learn from them, see if I could find things that would make me feel, I don't know, better about my everyday. When you're in a job, even if it's a 60% fit for you, there's still going to be at least that pull of, this is not really all that there is for me. Is there? And I was feeling that. I was feeling like I was desperate for so much more. And just looking at, well, if I did this for a different kind of company, would I feel better?
Yeah.
If I did this for more money, would I feel better? If I did this in a different part of the world, would I feel better? And the answer was no. I needed to find who I was and what my value really could be. Yeah. And then knowing that, it took a while for it to come out, but I was hiding the fact that I had theater experience. I wouldn't even talk about it on LinkedIn. But it
was your first love, I'm sure.
It still is my first love. Absolutely. I studied and trained for 20 years to be an actress, including the 10 years that I did it professionally. Yeah. That's something about actors, like we're continually training no matter what.
Evolution.
Yeah.
And you're still in an acting role right now, and you're applying those skills to a new environment. That's a new audience.
Performing. Still, I'm doing speaking now. So I'm still on stage, but the words are my own. They're not scripted. Or if they are, they're at least words of my own, from my own story.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's important for us to share, because we all need to find our own voice. We all need to find our own message and our gifts. And everybody has a gift. Sometimes we bury it. Sometimes we hide it. Sometimes we avoid it. And we all have it. So I just encourage you and applaud anyone that is willing and able to find it during these times right now. So So what's up next?
I'm writing the Say Things Better book. And it turns out that I don't have like one book in me. I have, I don't know, a dozen, more, 100, 1,000. It's just a matter of being disciplined and like getting the writing done. So the first book that I'm actually going to be coming out with probably is the one with Kristen, which is You've Got Values.
The children's book with Kristen. It sounds like a fun, exciting.
It's going to be so magical. I mean, I want to tell everybody everything about it, but that's going to have to come a little later, and maybe we'll come back together.
We'll come back for another part.
So Kristen's first of the children's books is called You've Got Gifts, which is about the strengths that people have inherently, even, since they're children. Some things about ourselves that have always been true, things we're naturally gifted at, things you cannot learn.
Yeah.
So that book about helping children find and discover their own inherent gifts is her first one. And then the second one is You've Got Values, which I'm writing with her, because I have verb your values as part of the Say Things Better method, which is an acting tool using verbs to guide our communication, like the way that you would aim an arrow. Our verbs can help us to do that, to determine how we're going to make our communication deliver. We're aiming it with our intentions. So my values inform what verbs I choose. And she knew this and reached out and said, would you like to co-author one of these books with me, the one about values? So we're doing that. And then I'm writing the Say Things Better book, which is going to have, stories from theater and from my corporate world and people I know from LinkedIn, all kinds of stories about, real life and real business examples of intentional communication and what happens when you don't have it. And then just practical tips.
Yeah. What is that called? Experience comes from bad decisions, and which create good experiences.
Yes.
Something
There's that loop, right? So I'm trying to give people some tools, equip them with a framework to use for different kinds of communication situations. Do you want to see like a sneak preview?
I would love to see a sneak preview.
Let me see if I can share my screen. Yeah. This is just in Canva, just something that nobody has seen this. Nobody has seen this.
Live on the Pirate broadcast.
Yeah. Okay, share my screen. Don't judge all my tabs. Oh, I can choose just one tab? Oh, this is awesome. Okay, thank you, StreamYard.
Hey, we got the tech here, Laura.
So here, this is in Canva. And this is, do you take feedback well? So this section is called Take Feedback Better. And it'll walk you through taking feedback without getting your feelings hurt and then doing something with it. So
actually taking action?
Actually taking action. So managing the conversation, what to actually do, some steps. So I'll share this on the Say Things Better company page too, which is also kind of a secret that
world exclusive premiere.
I'm testing out some of the, for my posts on LinkedIn.
Well, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
I know we're both incredibly busy, Lila, and I want to take a moment and thank you for the opportunity to reconnect and catch up.
Back at ya.
It's been way too long, and I know that it's funny how LinkedIn works. Is like I see the same people for a while, and then I'll see a group of different people for a while, and depending on communication,
it's like high school.
Yeah, it's like high school. Exactly.
You got like the hallways that people hang out in, or I don't know, my high school was like this.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
And so when these things come out and when, and I'd love to maybe we could have you and Kristen on it as well together.
That'd be so fun.
That would be wonderful. And I know there's a lot of other people doing some amazing work, and I just want to open this up and the opportunity. In fact, I have a workshop tonight that I'm going to be essentially laying out the entire framework for how I produce the Pirate broadcast, because I have the Pirate Syndicate.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I have the Pirate Syndicate that produces this. So I have a team of people like my sister, that we talked about.
Yeah, I need a syndicate, a mermaid syndicate.
A mermaid syndicate. I love that.
If you get a Pirate Syndicate, I for sure get a mermaid syndicate. Absolutely.
You could do that. So let's reconnect, reconverge, and follow and track each other's progress, because I think right now, we're at the tip of the iceberg on change, and I just want to make sure that everybody understands that you have value, you have gifts, and right now is the time to
share them,
stay connected, help each other out.
Reach out.
So, what's the life lesson that you would like to leave with everyone today?
You should just think about the things that are important to you, and intentionally going about planting more of those things in the world. However you do that, not everybody is going to be a speaker, but you do have a voice. You could share some things that are important to you with even one other person. If you find somebody to talk to, that connection is what amplifies your mission, those things that you want to see out there in the world. If you leave it alone inside your own head, then it kind of withers and eventually dies with your physical body. But when you pass message along through writing, through content, through a text message, through, I don't know, send something out with Morse code, get on the old school, AM radio and
use a
talk
telephone.
to a trucker, telephone, pick up a phone and call somebody. But think about what's important to you in this world and say it to someone. Just go say something. Say something first and then say something better later.
Say things better.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lila. Appreciate you. And thank you for being here. And congratulations on your pirate graduation.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. And as always, kindness is cool, smiles are free, and you enjoy the day.